Hi, thank you. Thank you. One more time for all the comics you've seen tonight. Make it a little loud for them. Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. Look at this. Right here, St. Louis. All right. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to call you that, but I already said it. Thanks so much for coming out to the mall. Look at us. Isn't this fancy? This is why I argue with people. They're like, comedy's an art. And I'm like, it's at the mall a lot. I don't know if that's where art goes, you know? I like it. And we're downstairs, so that made it cool, you know? Came in upstairs and like, no, the artsy stuff happens down there. Yeah, up here it smells like farts, but down there, it's gonna smell better. I'm glad I'm not the only one that smelled that. Good Lord. What was that? There's like a good 30 seconds where I'm like, is that me? Like, what did I do? That wasn't me. Had some ice cream earlier, but that shouldn't be causing all this. This is more broccoli induced if my nose is on par. I like it. This half was definitely here when I walked in. This half, listen you guys, at a certain time it smelled like broccoli farts up there. And everyone had to walk in and talk to people like they weren't smelling it. I had to walk in and go, I'm the comedian. And that's not me. I don't know what that is, but that's not me. It's not what I'm bringing to the table. That's very nice. I'm looking forward to one time I'm going to do a weekend out here in St. Louis, and I'll get to explore your town some. But I don't get to. The couple times I've been, it's been one-nighters, so I just know the drive. I just know that I come up from that way, and then I see the arch, and I'm like, that's it. That's it. And then I drive past that, and I'm like, all right, that was it. All right. And then I gotta know more stuff about it. I don't know enough about St. Louis. I know you guys got baseball teams historically very good. Historic, right? They had all the championships written on the stadium. You guys laugh like, no. Listen, I don't know how they're doing now, but they look like they did some stuff throughout history. I don't know if you guys are that's the kind of sports fan I am. Like, I just want to see them win once, and I'm good forever. I know that's not a popular sports fan take, but like, when I moved from Hungary, we lived in Pittsburgh for the first few years, so I became a Steelers fan. Sorry if that angers anybody. That's where we live. And I always wanted to see the Steelers win a Super Bowl. And then in 2006, they won one, and I'm like, hell yeah, all right. And then a couple years later, they won again, and I'm like, okay. And I'm cool if they never win a single game ever again for the rest of my life. I already had the joy. Like, do you ever think sports fans are being greedy? We're like, every year we have to be number one. And you're like, are you even enjoying the ones you won then? Is that even what you're... I can tell you guys don't agree. I can feel it. I understand that I have a really weird, dumb take on sports, but I'm like, you did it. Yeah, but what have you done for me lately? That's not how I treat things I love. All right? Like, things I love, they're allowed to make something good, and then they're allowed to make, oh, that's a good effort. I see what you were doing there. Like, I'm a fan, dude. When I like a band or something, I'm into, like, if they have a great album, yeah. And if their next one gets weird and experimental, I'm like, okay, yeah. That's what you were feeling in the moment. I'm with you. Like, I love Metallica, okay? I'm a big Metallica fan. And yes, they sound very different from the 80s than they do now, but that's fine. If you want that stuff, go put it on. That's what I don't like. Like, no, I want them to sound like it's 83. They were 18. Now they're 60-year-old millionaires. What do you want them to... How much can they sing about death? Like, their life is amazing. I can still feel it. Some of you agree with me, like, no, just give me the things I like. Win championships and make master of puppets. I don't know. We were talking about music in the back. That's why it's on my head. I like music. I can't do it, but I like it. Oh, but anyway, it's been a fun trip. I came in today. I've only been in town for a few hours, and I was in Evansville the night before. I was doing a show, corporate event. I was doing comedy for a company, and it was bad. It didn't go good. It was just a lot of employees, and there were nice audiences, but it was like a work function. You know, when I remember having a job where they'd be like, "Hey, come. It's not mandatory, but," and you know what I mean? Like, it's not mandatory, but we are going to take attendance, and and I don't even know that they did that, and everyone was super friendly, but it was like, 300 people, but they picked a 1,500 seat theater to put it in, and so it just felt like I was auditioning for something. It just felt like I was auditioning for like a high school play, and we were all going to take turns to read a little of Othello and see who gets to play Othello. I just let you know that I don't know who's in Othello. And your response let me know you don't either. So that was good. I could have just played it off, and you could have been like, "Oh, I think he might be smart." I don't know. No, I read the headlines, not the articles. That's what I do. But yeah, I was in Evansville, and then I spent 2 days in Louisville leading up to that, which was great. That town, it's just a giant advertisement for bourbon. That's all it is. It's like the hotel was here and the club was there, and in my short walk was just like, "Come on in, have some bourbon. We have 108 bourbons." And you're like, "That's too many bourbons. Like, why?" I'm not used to that. I'm used to bars that are like, "Hey, would you like a cold beer? Come on in. Have a cold beer. Why don't you watch the game? Hang out with a friend." And over there, they're like, "Hey, do you want to cry in front of strangers? Is that what you'd like to do?" I don't know what you do with a couple bourbons, but that's what I do. I get pretty emotional. And I'm not even sad. I'm just thankful. Like, that's what hard liquor does to me now. I don't know if that's an age thing. I don't know what it is, but I get a couple of whiskeys in me, and I'm like, "Oh, I do have great friends." And then my eyes start to well up, and I'm thankful for all of them. Oh, and my wife, she puts up with me. Oh, my mother, my sweet mother. And then once I start welling up about the cats, I'm like, let's reel it in. All right. Like, it's not wrong to love your cats that much, but we are in public. People are watching. Someone comes up, what are you going through? Miso. They're like, "Who?" "Oh, it's my cat." That's a nice hat. Is that your hat? That's a stylish hat. I like that. Sorry, that caught my attention. Everyone's got a look to them. I love it. You guys are dressed well. Yeah, very nice. I love the hat. I love the cardigan all the way through. Very cool. You look like you manage something. I like the whole. You look like you're in charge of something, right? Well, do you own a company? What do you do? You're retired. Yeah, you look like you're running that. What's on the schedule today? Nothing. That's what we're doing. No one's changing that schedule, buddy. What'd you do before you retired? You worked at a bank. Did you run it? No? All right. I'm misreading it. You look like you were over there like, "Yeah, this is my bank." I like it. I don't know. I've always had a good time at the bank. For the most part, right? I've always had a good time at the bank. Banks are different by neighborhood, I've noticed that. Like in my neighborhood, there was a guy screaming because he thought he lost something. And he's like, "No! God, no!" And he was just banging on the glass, and I'm like, "Oh, all right." Like, I was just there to get a new debit card. I lost my debit card, and I'm like, I think that guy's not paying rent this month. And then he found it, and then he's like, "I'm sorry for losing it." And you're like, well, we're all upset, We're all upset. The fake living room with the TV without a remote. Why would you do that? That's every bank. I sit down at the bank, and there's a bunch of nice couches and a TV, and you're like, "Where's the remote, dude? No one wants to watch this ad for Bank of America." So yeah. Anyway, it was nice in Louisville. It's been a nice trip all along. It's been very nice. Out there, I was with my buddy Josh. He's a little older than me, but he's my most immature friend. I hope everyone's lucky enough to have someone older than you that is more immature than you will ever be in your entire life. He's 43 going on 22. That's who he is. Just he travels with a duffel bag. Like, we flew out together, and he came with a duffel bag. And they've been putting wheels on luggage for like 30 years. All right, this is not a new invention. They've been slapping wheels on there for a long time, and he's just at the airport with a duffel bag. And we'd walk, and then we'd stop, and he'd just drop it, and just boom. And I'm like, "What are you doing with a duffel bag?" He's like, "What do you mean? It's my luggage." And I'm like, "Get wheels, dude." And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Get it," because he travels a lot for comedy, and you look like a professional traveler if you have wheels. A duffel bag, that just looks like you're being sent to live with your dad, you know? And you're like, "Oh, I gotta get over there." And that doesn't look like a round trip flight with a duffel bag. You're like, "Oh, he's not allowed to come back till he's better." Like, that's definitely a one-way trip. Like, one time I got bullied into buying all this protein powder at like a GNC. You ever go into like a GNC where they got all that stuff? This is when I was young. I was 18, and my buddy Dane came back from the gym, and he's got like 2 big grocery bags full of like protein powder and amino acids, a bunch of like fitness crap. And I was like, what the hell's all that? I thought you went to the gym. He's like, "Yeah." And then afterwards I went in to the GNC, and there's this jacked guy working there, and he like worked out this whole plan for me, and then I left with $156 worth of protein powder and supplements, and I'm like, "Cool, man." And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I didn't want to buy any of this stuff." He was just like really intimidating, you know? And I was like, "Whoa, that sucks, dude." And then the more he thought about it, he's like, "Yeah, man, that guy really like bullied me. I didn't want to buy all this." He's like, "I'm gonna go return it." And I'm like, "Cool." And I'm like, he's like, "You want to come with me?" And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, he's intimidating. Can you just back me up?" And I don't know if you can tell how big I am from where you're sitting, but my buddy Dane is 6'4". He's a big guy, and I'm like, I'm the backup, dude. And so I went with him just for moral support. He's my best buddy. I'm gonna go, and we went in there, and that guy was huge. He was like, not like ripped huge, but like the kind of huge where they throw stuff. You know, like sometimes you turn on the TV and you're like, "That's the strongest man in the world." And he's like, "He's kind of flabby, but all right." Like, he might be. And he just had like no neck, and he's just over there. And Dane's like, "Hey man, I came to return this." And he's like, "What? You're returning this?" And he's like, "I spent 30 minutes here writing out this plan for you, and then you're gonna come back and return it?" And he's like, yeah, I'm not, I don't want it, and yeah, I feel like he bullied me into it, and I don't want it." And he's like, "That's ridiculous." He just kept harping on him that he spent so much time putting this plan together. And then he goes, "You know another thing I don't like?" He's like, "I also don't like your buddy eyeballing me in the back right there." And I'm like, "Who's eyeballing? I'm not eyeballing." And then he goes, "What are your fitness goals?" And I'm like, "What?" And then he started talking to me. I ended up buying my buddy's protein. So he gave the return on his card, and then he's running my card. And I'm looking at Dane, he's like, "Thanks, man." And I'm like, and then I went back with it. And I ended up choking down those amino acid pills. Maybe they worked, but they didn't do anything for me, I'll tell you that. Anyway, that was a weird story, but it came out. I'm glad you went along with it. I appreciate that. I got a few more stories left to tell you, but the first thing, I didn't even say thank you yet. Thank you so much for helping me pack out this room on a Sunday. It means a lot. Thank you. It's a great feeling to sell the place out, especially when there's like a football game going on. And I was like, "Oh no!" And then I was like, "Good, they all bought it before they knew." You know. Yeah, is it close? It just started.
No, I meant like the purchase decision.
Oh, the purchase decision. All right. I like it. Some people didn't come. Like, because the show's sold out, but there are some empty seats, which is, that's also what I like. That's why I like my audience. Like all of my audience, I feel is like close to me. Like, you're like me in the sense that you're either around my age or just a little bit above. Like, there's not too many, like, people in their early 20s coming to see me. And I really like that. Like, I have some comedian friends that all their fans are like 22, and I'm like, that would be horrible. Because those people like expect the night of their lives. They're like, we're gonna have the night of our lives, and people my age and up are like, we're going, all right, like, and that's what I want. I want some people that are like, this will be fine, you know? I want some, like, I know at least a good portion of this audience, an hour before the show, you guys, one of you at home is like, we could stay in. Like, we don't have to go, you know? That's why I always want to keep my ticket prices at this level. Because that's enough money to where you're like, well, we could just stay in. We don't have to go. Like, that's something new that's happening. Like, I'm doing a couple bigger venues in Seattle, like Pacific Northwest, and some of those are being sold by Ticketmaster, and so I can go on the website and look at the seat map and see how many tickets have sold. And some people are like scalping the tickets, like they're doing the resale thing, and like the tickets are like 35 or 55, like, but they're selling them for like 200 or something. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I just hope no one buys them. That's what I hope. And then we can move people up and sit in there. Because, like, that's not fun for me. Because, like, I look at an audience of people that pay, like, 30 or 50 bucks, and they're like, we're going to have a good time. But, like, someone that's, like, 200 bucks in, they're like, this better be good. Like, that's... And I'm going to be able to tell, you know? I'm going to be able to tell on their faces, this guy, this better be good. And I'm like, I don't want that kind of pressure on me. I like skippable activities. That's what I like. That's how I live my life. My wife and I skip a lot of stuff. We went to Amsterdam for her birthday, and we were there like 4 days, and we had a canal tour scheduled for the third day, and we really should have done it the first day, because we had walked around, we'd seen the canals, and so the third day comes around, and Emma's like, what time's that canal tour? And I'm like, at 5, and she's like, how long is it, like an hour? And I'm like, 90 minutes. And she's like, how much were those tickets? And I told her, and she's like, let's skip it. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I love skipping stuff. It was so nice, and like, I'm not doing it. That's fine. Thank you guys so much for coming out. One more time for Mike and Shane. Everybody make it loud for them. Good Lord. Oh, this is fancy. I like that. There's like that's like a VIP section over there. Not this is lower. That's up high. There's 2 bars. That's so many bars for this many people. That's not good. It's not conducive to comedy. Yeah, drunker. That's what we want. I love it. I've never had this many stools on stage. I guess that's what happens. Like, as you grow in your career, there's just going to be more stools and towels. I've never had a towel. This is about as useful as that towel they give you in first class. You're like, oh yeah, hot towel, just like I do for myself. This is great. This is so different from any other show I've done in New York City. The first show I did in New York, I put it on in 2019. It was in a basement in Bushwick. Was anyone at that? There you go, one. All right. You're the only one that survived. All right. No one else made it out of that neighborhood, apparently. Yeah, I didn't. That was the first time I put on a show in New York. I was looking for a venue, and I don't know if you know, it's hard to get a venue in this town. It's a very sought-after city for entertainment. And I always like it when people send me, they're like, please come to my town. And then they'll send you the venue, and you're like, oh, the arena. I'll give that a shot. I'll call up Mr. Square Garden and see what his avails are looking like. But I couldn't get a venue, and then a buddy was like, hey, I have a friend, and she has a basement, in Bushwick, and she usually has bands play in her basement. You want to do a comedy show there? And I'm like, all right. I didn't think much of it, and I put up the tickets on like Eventbrite or whatever, and we sold it out at 50 people. That's as many people as you could fit in that basement. And then I showed up, and it didn't cross my mind. I'm like, oh, I'm just in front of an apartment complex. Like, I didn't make that clear in the description of the tickets. Like, people are just gonna show up and be like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not going in there. So what I did was I ordered a bunch of pizza, and I lured people in like a creep in a van. I just held pizza, and I'm like, you're at the right place. Go in there. And that was the first show I put on. And the second one was at the Broadway Comedy Club, where a woman with monkeypox didn't want to pay me. It was a deep story. I don't remember monkeypox. I think she was the one person I met that I'm like, that's pretty. I think that's it. And she was weird about paying me. And then the other show I did was at a gym called Con Body. You guys went to that? Yeah, Con Body. Remember that? That was a gym down in, what was that, Lower East Side? And it's a themed gym, because you know how like people in prison are in great shape, and then people in New York are like, I just want to be ripped like a felon, but I don't want to like do the crime part. You know, I'm trying to still be allowed to vote and stuff like that. So then that's how they themed that gym, and I was like, can we do a comedy show here? And they're like, we can do anything in here. So that was the last show that I put on myself in New York. And then it came to this, and this is amazing, but it also at the same time, no one outside of this building cares. You know what I mean? Like, I took photos with my name, and I was like, hey, that's me. And then people were like, get out of the way. The hell out of there, there's no time to gloat. That's why I like this city. Everyone's down to earth in this city, because anytime you have a moment, you're like, hey, someone's like, I'll kill you right now. If you are get out of my face, you're ruining the sidewalk. Because that's what this town is built on. This town is efficient because there's misery here. There's, like, where people are happy, they float, oh, what's that? But if you're miserable, you keep it moving, all right? When I was outside going, that's my name up there, they're like, you're ruining the flow of traffic by being happy. But I like that. I like it because the city keeps people humble. They almost didn't let me in the venue. After I took my photo, I'm like, hi, I'm the comedian. And they're like, you have to go get your credentials. And I'm like, I'm the guy. And they're like, we don't care. Like, you need to get an envelope with a sticker, and we're still patting you down, and we're going to get in there. All right? But I like it. I like that they patted everyone down. No, this is going to be fine. But this is a venue where they do, like, metal shows. There's probably people covered in chains. You don't know how many arrows there are backstage. Because this place is for musicians that are high or drunk, and it's just all arrows back there going this way. Do not touch that doorknob. Touch this doorknob. You want to go this way. And that's so a musician who's high off his head, there's so many people working backstage just to make sure I make it here. Which is so different from comedy. Like, musicians get away with murder, literally. A lot of times, they've killed people, and they're like, oh, you rascal, get in here. Why don't you play that song that is my wife and I's favorite song? But with comedians on the come up, you have to mind your P's. You're rude to a waitress, and you will be banned from Atlanta. All right? Like, that's how it is. So then you get to this level. Now I'm like too responsible to perform at a venue where they're like, how many arrows do you need to find the stage? And I'm like, no, I'm sober. And they're like, why? Because I have to talk out loud. I think that might be a lot of it. But it's awesome to be here. We got a hotel right next door, so we don't have to go too far back to Brooklyn, which is good. Yeah, our apartment's empty right now because we're moving back to San Diego. So, yeah, don't be sad. I'll still come back. There's flights. You guys have a lot of airports, a lot of them. I only like the LaGuardia one, but that one's good now. And I like it because no one's telling anybody. Because historically, LaGuardia was the bad one, and then they made it good, and they're like, shut up. Every time I go over there, I'm like, whoa, and they're like, shut up. You tell everyone it's horrible. Every time I go to LaGuardia, they got all the lines. They're like, are you clear? Are you TSA pre-check? Are you Sky Priority? And all the lines are like, they're 5 minutes. They're the same amount of time. Just walk on through. They're happy to see you. And then JFK, you're like, that is... A lot of times that Uber ride is longer than the flight that I took to get in. And they're like, come on in, man. So yeah, we're moving back. We have an empty apartment. We had the movers come in on Monday, and they took all their stuff, and then we mistimed it. So now my wife and I have just been living in a flop house. We just have a mattress on the floor. And we're like, this will be fine, won't it? It's not. It is not fine. Have you ever had an argument with an echo? Like, that's when you know you've either just moved to the place or you're leaving and you're like, I shouldn't hear the argument twice. And that's where we're at. I'm happy. I'm happy to be going back to the sunshine, but I'm gonna miss. I like it. I never had a moment in this town where I felt like I fit in, but I liked that. You know? I like where every time I went outside, I'm like, who knows? You know? Who knows? Someone might yell at me, someone might smile, and I think it's for me, it's for someone behind me. There might be an argument over a scarf. So many things. I like that you guys were like, I could see an argument over a scarf. Like, a couple of you laughed, and a lot of you were like, I got an argument over a scarf today. I yelled it wasn't cold enough, and they said, prove it, and then we went after it. I remember one time I forget which train, but like there was a dude who was peeling cucumbers on the train and then putting them on his face. He was doing a full beauty treatment on the train, and the train was full, and only my wife and I were looking at him. My wife and I were the only ones going, oh, look at that. And everyone else was like, smart, dude. My skin's dry this time of year. This guy's getting it good. But yeah, we had movers come in, which is always. This is the first time I've ever had movers. I've always been the mover. I've never done it. And then they come in. I think they should ask you to leave. Because have you ever had movers come and then you were there and then they're just like, yeah, that one too. And then they're huge. They look like they could throw you across the street. And you're like, yeah, that one's fragile. If they pick up a lamp, there's glass in that. You should watch out for that. It's just bad. And they were all strong and handsome. And it was like too much. And then you watch your wife watch them. And then she'd look at me and I'm like, are you contrasting and comparing? Like, what are you doing right now? She would come by, do you remember how many of us it took to get that couch up here? And I'm like, don't bring that up right now. They were good guys. Yeah. I always get weird when people come into the house. I never know what to do with myself. Like, we had someone come in, they had to work on the plumbing or something, and they were in the closet, so I'm just standing in the living room. Because I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself, so I'm just standing there. And then a second worker came in that I wasn't expecting. Just came in, and I was like, and for no reason, I just picked up an ottoman and moved it 2 feet over. And I'm like, yeah, that's where that belongs. What was that doing over there? That's not where that goes. I'm at work too, just so you know. You know, I had to Google the word ottoman. I didn't know that's what that was called, because I give everything a nickname in my house. I call those the stumps. When my wife and I sit down, I'm like, hey, why don't you bring one of those stumps over so I can put my hooves up? And I didn't want to say that in front of an audience because I didn't want to sound like white trash, so I Googled. I'm like, what are those stumps that I put my hooves on when I watch TV? And they're like, did you mean ottoman? And I'm like, yeah, the dog from Beauty and the Beast. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I never know what to do with myself. Like, we had to hire a guy to hang our TV when we moved here because you guys there's brick walls on the East Coast because you guys have less earthquakes, so you can have brick. I grew up in California where everyone would be dead if there was All the walls are made of paper, so it's like, oh my God, oh, I'm still alive. I'm pinned down, but I'm not dead. But here it's brick, and I don't have a drill. I got an IKEA drill that's made for fake wood, and so my wife, there's an app called TaskRabbit where you can hire men to come over and do men things. That's what they're there for. So my wife's like, I hired this guy to come over and hang our TV, and I looked and it was a Russian dude named Igor, and I was like, all right, and she's like, oh, he'll be here in 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. And she's like, are you gonna stay? And I'm like, yeah, I was, is it weird if I stay? And she's like, I mean, she's as long as you're comfortable with it, you can stay. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay. And he showed up, and I'm like, I should have left. It was, like, I thought I was comfortable with my masculinity, and I wasn't. I thought I was, should have left. He came in, and he just pulled out his big, and he's drilling the wall, and there's, like, brick flakes flying everywhere. He had a big vein in his forearm. Yeah! And then he looked over, and we made eye contact, and I'm like, I'm gonna go wait in the bedroom. That's where I'm gonna go wait. And it's a small apartment. My bedroom's just right there. So he's over there drilling the wall. I'm over here just making baby circles. Just tell me when he's done. Tell me where he pees. I have to pee where he pees. Otherwise, this is his apartment now. There's weird rental laws in New York. I don't know if you guys know it. They're like, no, that's his urine. Are you falling asleep? Are you okay right there? Are you very high? Oh, yes? Oh, of course. I love your answer. That was a very New York answer. You're like, of course. Like, what do you responded like I asked if it was Friday. You're like, of course it's Friday. Where have you been? You came to a comedy show prepared. I like that. Some of these jokes you'll get on a delay. Absolutely. Yeah. I've always had a good time here. I have a neighbor named Bob. He's an elderly man named Bob, and he and I just have never we never disagree. We've never had an issue, but you ever just not do it right with a person? Like every interaction, you're like, what the hell was that? I don't know why, but like my volume of my voice is always off with this guy. Every time I see him, like my energy's up here and he's like down here. I'll just be like, hey Bob! And he's like, and I'm like, try again tomorrow. Like, one time I saw him down the street. You ever see your neighbor but not at your place? Like you see him somewhere else and you're like, hey, look at us. We're at the same thing. And and I did that. I'm like, Bob! And he's like, and I'm like, man! And it's just been a year and a half of that replaying in different ways. Bob! And you're like, ah, and I'm like, idiot. Yeah. I gotta come in smoother. But yeah, it's been a fun couple. Last week, it's been fun. We had the election. I feel it, Some people are happy. I try to remember that. A lot of people are happy. That makes me feel better. You ever see someone happy and then you're happy just because they're happy? Not so much in this city, but like, when you leave and then you're somewhere else and you're like, that guy's so happy right now. Like, I'm proud. Like, just watching the video of people lining up to vote made me like, oh, look at those people. They're lining up to have their voices be heard. That's so nice. I'm just proud of people now. I feel that. Like, sometimes I'll be at the park and I'll see people running and I'm like, oh, I'm proud of that guy. And my wife's like, do you know that guy? I'm like, no, but he's running. And we're not running, but he's doing it. He doesn't want to run either. We don't want to run and we didn't. He didn't want to run and did. Like, I'm proud of him. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't close, the election. I'm happy. And it didn't come out the way I wanted, but I'm glad it was, because if it was close, I would have been like, oh, who didn't vote? But because it was a blowout, I'm like, oh okay. All right. Fine. Recount? We don't need to. I think you did it. It felt like a football game where, like, your team, you're like, yeah, this is it. But then the opening kickoff, you can just feel it. You're like, this isn't going good. Like, I remember at the beginning, they just showed 3 states, and I'm like, that's already a rough first quarter right there. Like, we have New Hampshire. I'm like, is that good? I don't... It's like 2 people in that state. It was just the reveal of it. It was like a temperature check of the country, I think, is what that election was. And I was like, oh, it's going to go like this. And I'm like, oh, I was wrong. I had no idea everyone felt that way. The election reminded me of my first boy-girl party. I went to my first boy-girl party when I was 12. It was Melissa Vasquez's birthday. It was her 12th birthday party. And a couple days before her party, I was on a 3-way phone call with her. Remember 3-way phone calls in the 90s? And I was on a phone call with her and my friend Johnny C. And she was like, hey, Johnny C., for my party, can you bring over your Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre CDs? And he's like, absolutely, I'll bring them. And then I was like, oh, I'll bring over my Will Smith's Greatest Hits CD. And there was a long pause and there was 2 other people on the line with me, and nothing. And I was like, well, I'll bring over my Will Smith's Greatest Hits. Like, I repeated myself. I'm like, clearly they didn't hear me. And then there was another long pause, and Melissa's like, you don't have to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, that's what the election was like for me. That was me going, oh, I didn't know. I'll put this away then. That was a lot of my childhood because I didn't have an older sibling. Like, people that are so lucky, if you have an older sibling, they'll be like, don't wear that. You shouldn't wear that. That's your first day of high school? I wouldn't do that. I didn't have that. I would just find out that the thing I picked wasn't cool by showing up. You ever have that? You get a summer vacation, you're like, those green jeans? Hell yeah, dude. I'm wearing some green jeans. And then you show up first day at school, you're like, oh no. And you're like, Mom, I picked the wrong color jeans. And she's like, we're not going back to the store. So you have to be the green jeans kid. All the 6... Yeah! Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. What's up? Yeah! Wow, we filled out this diner. Hell yeah! This is awesome. I did not... Were you aware? I was not aware. I kind of found out. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's like, oh. That's the realization. You do one of those, oh yeah, this is it. There's a huge sign for mostly the diner. And then it's like comedy. I like how they have our pictures out on the video screen. But if you drive by too fast, you're like, wait, is that is it the employee of the month? Like, who is that? This line cook. He'll make a hell of a pancake. It's just me. I love it. I've never done comedy in a diner before, and I'm all for it. Like, it's mostly diner, and then it's like a dirty secret that they're doing comedy here. They're like, you here for the pancakes or the... I don't know. We're here for the comedy. We're here for the freedom of speech. All right, keep it down. It's over here. But I love it, dude. I love it. I love the vibe, like right over there. Just, we're doing this here, right on the other side. There's just single dads eating dinner with their kids because they burnt the food they were trying to make at home. It's the opening of the movie The Santa Claus in there. Exactly. Yeah, that's the opening. Tim Allen's over there waving at a guy with his hand wrapped. Oh yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that rewatched that movie a week ago. It's the holidays. This is when you rewatch old movies. You're like, remember the Santa Claus? We're watching that. It was wonderful, man. I'm so glad to be here. It's nice. We're in Atlanta. There's Buckhead, I think, is the area. Yeah, Buckhead. That's fun. You guys are probably used to it, but if you're from out of town, that's pretty weird. You know? You guys are like, what the hell's wrong with Buckhead? And you're like, nothing. Nothing's at all wrong with it. It just sounds like the lie that you say to your parents when they're like, what did you call your brother? And you're like, I just said Buckhead. That's all. It'd be funny if that's how the town got named. Just at a meeting where someone got mad at a guy. Like, what'd you call him? I was like, Buckhead. We should call it Buckhead. It's like an aggressive name, but still kind of cool, you know? I don't know what do you know what the origin of Buckhead is? Nobody? Anybody? Boots? Nothing? All right. It's a deer? Oh, this used to be hunting grounds, so now it's big buildings. Isn't that crazy how the town evolved? Like, not that long ago, it was just like people hunting deer, and now it's big buildings and comedy in the back of a diner. Or some guy from San Diego is like, Buckhead's a weird name. And that's human evolution right there. What the hell does Buckhead mean? Some idiot who won't Google, you know? Love it, man. We had a good time. It was a family trip. I brought my brother out on this one. I got a younger brother, and I traveled with him. And I was trying to, he's 24, I'm 37, so I'm like trying to show off to him. Like, I'm trying to show him how well things are going. And I picked the wrong trip. You know, like it's just... Because, like, we flew together from San Diego. We took Delta. I'm a Delta Diamond. So I'm telling him, like, buddy, I get upgraded, like, every flight. The lounge is awesome. And we sat row 36. Like, we were all... And he's like, upgraded, huh? I'm like, yeah, usually. But... And the lounge sucked. There was, like, a line, and there was no eggs left. And then I'm doing comedy in a diner. And I'm like, I promise, it's going really good. And he's like, whatever, man. I didn't say anything. I'm like, your face is saying a lot. It's just me trying to be cool to my little brother, and I'm so bad at it. It's like I'm trying to impress a girl. Or, you know when you like try to impress somebody, and it's the most uncoordinated you've ever been, and the dumbest things fly. I was so bad at the airport. I'm a professional airport guy. I know what to do. And I was horrible at it. I showed up and Delta Sky Priority to check my bag. The line was longer than the other line. The other line where you put the sticker on yourself and just drop it off, there was no line. And I'm like, oh, I'll just go do that. So I went over to the kiosk. Boop, boop, boop. I did the sticker, and then I ran over. Now this line was longer than that line. So now I'm in the Sky Priority with the sticker already. Like I'm just like a good Samaritan or something. But then that line started moving better. So I'm like, let's go over there. So I did the under the rope. You know, when you do the under the rope. Has that ever worked out in the history of airports? Has anyone ever fully made it under without the thing snapping and opening? And then you got to figure out how that puzzle goes back together. And he's like, are you getting it? I'm like, I can't figure. Shut up, dude. Just. He's like, I thought you fly a lot. I'm like, I forgot everything. When we made it here. We had a good time, though. This is my first time spending like a full weekend in Atlanta. That's how I know comedy is doing well. Because the last few times it was just one night, you know. That's how you know your career is growing, where you're like, all right, you can hang out for a couple days. There's enough people that know you. You can fill up the diner. So you can hang out for a weekend. Years previous, one night, and then get your ass to Savannah or something. You're like a band, baby. Just one night, get out of here. But yeah, it was a whole weekend, so I didn't know like where to take my brother. I didn't know what to do because I haven't spent long enough here to like do stuff. So I put it on Instagram, like, hey, recommend me some things for my brother and I to do. And the first thing that came up was the aquarium. And instead of just saying the aquarium, it said the aquarium. They have booze there. And it was like if saying the aquarium wasn't enough. They're like, nah, he's not going to want to do that sober. Don't worry, man, there's alcohol at the aquarium. Oh, thank God. All right. I don't want to stare at these fish stone cold sober. I want to be on their level, you know, just kind of. I want to get in there with these fish, buddy. But we ended up going. We didn't do the aquarium. We went to the Coca-Cola Museum, World of Coke. Yeah, that noise was what we had. Yeah. That's a long way to go to get some soda at the end. That was the longest I've ever gone to get like. We just spent $52 and an hour. Man, you gotta love Coca-Cola to have a museum. That's such a weird thing to celebrate. They're like, welcome, this is where diabetes started in the United States. Come on in, take a look. That's the chemist. He's the one who created it. He figured out how to fight the natural insulin in your body. Took a lot of swings at it till he nailed it. A whole museum. And I don't like, does Pepsi have a museum? Is there like a Pepsi museum in wherever the hell Pepsi's from? No. RC Cola? Does RC Cola have a trailer that's on fire somewhere that they're calling a museum? Is that the worst museum I've ever been to? I've been to a lot of museums. And they make you watch a movie at first. There's a movie, I don't know, have you been to the Coca-Cola? They sit you in a theater and they watch you. It's like, it's a 6-minute movie. They kept telling us, listen, it's a short 6-minute movie. Because they know people would be like, I'm going to leave. Is this what it is? I'm going to leave. It's a short 6-minute movie. It's about happiness. And it's just like random happy moments. Like, people getting ready to skydive, like one guy golfing, someone did a trick shot out of a balcony, and then and they're like, you might get emotional, and I did. I got emotional at the soldier one. They have a part in there where like a soldier comes home, like a family's at a sporting event in an arena, and their family member soldier is doing a video that he filmed like in Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, that's her son. And then they're like, he's back. And then he's down, and then he shows up, and the mom's crying, and I'm like, oh my God. And like, I'm feeling it. I don't even have family in the military, but I'm just like, I'm at the age now where if I see someone crying for more than 10 seconds, I just start feeling it. I'm like, yeah, dude, me too. So then I'm all emotional, I'm invested, and then they just ruin, like a Coca-Cola comes up, and they ruin the moment. It's like, I'm like, what's this video saying? You sponsor happiness? Like, what do you... There would be no happiness if it wasn't for Coca-Cola, everybody. It's just like a soldier hugging his mom and then just... I always love, that's how they always drink the Coke and the Coke with the bottom. I've never had that much confidence in the seal that my lips make around a bottle to go full. Whoa, yeah. No, I'm not pouring Coke in my earlobes. We're not doing that. Just have a Coke. It was so much, man, 6 minutes of propaganda we had to sit through. Coca-Cola's making the world a better place. I mean, I like it, but come on, dude. Like, it's fine. Put some rum in it. You know, like, a little. Yeah, that guy knows. Oh, we had fun, though. It was cool. We saw the guy that invented it, and then they had a note that they're like, he might have stole it. I don't know if there's a blurb that there's like some guy in Tennessee that's like, my grandpappy invented that. And then they had the image of the guy that, like the Pemberton guy that made it. And I'm like, that guy looks like he would steal something. You ever see like his pictures? Like, anyone who had time for an oil painting probably stole something. Like, if you had the means for an oil painting back then, not all of that was yours. You did a little something nefarious to get that. I believe the Tennessee guy. But yeah, it was fun. And then at the end, you get the soda, which was actually kind of cool because they had all these Coca-Cola products from around the world, and all the recipes are kind of different. So you could have like a cherry Coke from Zimbabwe, or like a Sprite from Romania. And then I went with my brother, and they had all these, and then he picked Sprite from North America. He just went up and like, oh yeah, hell yeah. And he filled it to the top. I'm like, we're not at the movies, dude. Like, this is, why are you going with what you know? Like, this, you don't want to taste what it's like in Korea? You know? And then so I made him try the Sprite in Romania, and he's like, I think I hate Romania. Like, they make it different. It was like a cucumber water with fizzies. So we had fun, though. This was good. We hung out at the park, and then it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a fun week. It was a good end of the week. You know, the week started off weird. Hunter Biden got pardoned. I don't know if you saw that. He got pardoned, which I know a lot of people are unhappy about it. I'm not happy about it either because it just reminded me that I grew up without a dad. You know? That's all it reminded me of. I was like, oh yeah, dads. That's what dads do. They get their sons out of trouble. Single moms, they're like, I'll turn you in. Dude, I will. Single moms will ask you for more punishment. They're like, Judge, give him an extra year. I don't want him in my house. A mom will turn you in. A dad's like, come on, man, let's get out of here. So that was unfair. We got to see Rich Dad-itis, you know. He got off, got pardoned. But then it kind of worked out because that guy ended up getting shot. So it all kind of... The world evens out, right? Like, there's someone paying attention. I like the response. Right? I agree. It's like, I'm not for murder, but all right. You know, like, that's wrong. But also, if someone's got it... If someone had to die that day, you didn't... All right. You went with the health insurance magnet? Sure. It was funny because I was like watching the news and the news people were dumbfounded at the social media's response to the death of this guy. They're like, how dare, I don't understand. And it's like, really? You don't get it? Have you gone to the doctor? Have you had any dealings with the health insurance company? You have no idea where this came from? Like, I knew it was coming because as soon as he died, the only comments on like social media were people's experiences with health insurance companies. Like, a guy died, he's like, yeah, one time I had to pay $500 for an x-ray of my own foot. Like, yeah, that happened. But it ended up working out, you know. He ended up getting shot. Someone's watching, you know. Someone's keeping, like, life's pretty fair because that thing wasn't fair, and then someone was like, whoa, we'll move this tragedy up. You know, God's like a bride doing a seating map for the wedding, or like, we'll move this tragedy to table 12. That'll level things out. I can tell you guys are good people because there's a lot of you like, but a lot of you are like, I shouldn't laugh at that. And you're right, but like, this is what I do. This is my only contribution to the world. Is like, well, I guess I'll write a joke about that. Man, they're finding that guy though. They're like, I mean, they're not gonna find him because, like, I think deep in everyone's heart, you're like, don't find him. Come on. That's our Robin Hood. Let him. Who's running AT&T? Like, let him. Whoa, buddy! I don't even know who it is. I'm just. You don't have AT&T? Like, I'm the only one that's been on the hold, and you're like, you said it was this much, and it's this much, and you made me sign up for automatic bill pay, so I'm here fighting for 45 minutes to get money back that you already stole. I swear I wasn't the shooter. All right, like, I see how I get the attention. Like, I feel the tone of this. I feel like he's Googling to make sure that I'm not the shooter. He's like, you know what? From this profile, it kind of looks like the photo. That's how I know that guy wasn't a professional assassin, is he took time to pull his mask down to flirt with the front desk worker at a hostel, where also assassins don't stay at a hostel. You usually try to keep a low profile, all right? Not smoke weed with a bunch of European backpackers next to your bunk. What are you in town for? Business. That guy was not a professional assassin. I could tell by the way he held a gun. I don't even shoot guns, but I'm like, that's not how you do it. It was like and he was like so close to the guy. I'm like, do you have any idea how guns work? Back up. You'll get him, dude. How bad is he? Like, no, I gotta smell him. If I can't smell him, I'll miss. And he had a big gun, too. Like, if you're an assassin, small gun, conceal, run away. He's like, no, dirty, hairy gun. That's what I'm looking for. Then he got away on an e-bike. Maybe this was planned at a hostel. Should get an e-bike, dude. Those things haul ass. It's crazy how much footage they have of the guy going. He's like, then we saw him here. And you're like, man, that never... I used to live in New York. People got shot a lot. And they would be like, there's no evidence. Like, we have no... He was on an e-bike. Those things are fast, dude. We lost him. And they're like, they know which Starbucks this guy went to. They know everything. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, that was all my jokes about it. Thank you. Appreciate it. I can tell you guys are all good people. You guys chuckle, but you're like, it's a little dark, but we'll chuckle. That means you're good-hearted people. This is so wholesome. We're doing this at a diner. We should all have pie after this. Just a nice slice of pumpkin. I know. How's Nana? Like, just have a real... Everyone's so friendly here. Like, I've had 2 Uber rides. The longest conversations of my entire life. You guys talk, dude. Every elevator. That's a speed date, is what every elevator ride I've been in. You're like, well, we're going to get to know each other, aren't we? I just asked which floor you were on. I was just trying to be polite to hit the button. Yeah, everyone was friendly. The Uber driver who drove us back from the Coke Museum, he's like coming to the show tomorrow. Like, that's how much we talked. And I don't like to let out that I'm a comedian. I keep it on the hush, but he just kept talking. He was so friendly. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a comedian. He's like, what? Where? I'm like, the diner. And he's like, I know that club. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's the club that you have. Giant aquarium, biggest airport I've ever seen, and then a speakeasy comedy club. And he's like, I'm coming tomorrow. I'm bringing my wife. And I'm like, oh my, I feel like odd pressure now. Like, I hope the show goes well tomorrow. Otherwise, Nathaniel's going to judge me. And... Everyone's. I'm not used to Uber drivers talking to me. I was in New York. Uber drivers don't talk. I've never heard them say anything. They just mutter into like an AirPod. You know, I think they're on like a phone call. I don't know what they're. And I'm like, excuse me. I could tell they're just like talking to their wives or something. They're like, get the milk. And you're like, what? They don't talk. People talk here, man. I like it. It's so friendly. It's like, it feels like a genuine friendliness too, not like the superficial ones. You know, some parts of the South is just kind of like, hey, you know, like that Southern hospitality. That's it changes from regions of the South. I've noticed, because like in Atlanta, it seems genuine. Everyone's been pretty nice and friendly. But like I've been to some parts of the South, it's like, hey. Welcome to the South. And you're like, that doesn't sound welcoming. Like they're saying welcome, but it's with a tone of like, when are you leaving? You know? Like they ask a lot of, oh, when was your flight? When's your return flight? Well, you better get to that airport early. I love the laughs here. It's like, ha, ha, ha. And then it trickles off like a question. Like, you guys hear that? It's like, it's like an inquisitive end at the end. It's beautiful. We're sharing a moment. I don't know if you guys realize that. Sharing a moment. Sorry if I'm being too hippy-dippy, but this has been fun. I needed this. I needed this weekend because I just moved back to San Diego. My wife and I left. We lived in New York for 1.5 years. That's how long we made it. And then we left. And people are like, oh, did you hate it? And I'm like, I loved it, but my wife hated it. And so we left. That's how that works. I wonder how it would have gone the other way if, like, I hated it and she's like, this is the best. And I'm like, well, I guess we're staying then. But now we're back in San Diego. And I'm happy she's happy. And honestly, I get it. We had a small 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. And now we have, like, a 2-bed, 2-bath house with a yard and a deck. And it's so nice, and it's uncomfortable for me. Because, like, I grew up in the trailer park, and slowly life... I know you can't tell, but my career's going good. All right? Like, I know they're slinging meringue in the back. I get it. But things are trickling up. Things are trending upward, and it makes me uncomfortable, all right? Because I grew up poor, and it's weird now. Like, now I'm in a house, we got a Tesla, I wear barefoot shoes. Like, I got shoes. That's how much time I have that I scroll the phone for shoes to help my posture and my back. And they make these, if you don't know, they make barefoot shoes with, like, there's no sole. It's just you're on the ground. It's less material, but it costs more for some reason. And it's because they know you got it. If you got the time to be like, what shoes will help my back? They're like, get his money. And we did a juice cleanse. So I just remember I was wearing my barefoot shoes. We're in the Tesla, and we're picking up a juice cleanse. And I turned to my wife, and I'm like, I think I hate myself. Like, this is every person I've ever hated in my entire life. And then the juice wasn't ready, and we're like, oh, why didn't you email us? And I'm like, what are we doing? I used to work in a warehouse unloading boxes like a man, you know? And now I'm a comedian going, ooh, better plug into the Tesla. I don't like me. I've always had I have a weird thing with money because I grew up without it for all of my childhood and most of my adulthood. And so I've always been like, take down the man. But now I'm creeping in, you know? What's that Batman quote? You either die the hero or you live long enough to be the villain. That's how I felt looking at my shoes, drinking beet juice. And I'm like, this is the villain, dude. This guy sucks.